Whatever. Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the back of this Teardown Lab. Do you remember this? How can you forget Pocket Operator? But that's not what I'm tearing down, because there's not much to tear down because it's already a kind of PCB. Whereas this is the Pocket Operator of its day. And I was sort of playing with these. Yeah, I couldn't really work out how it's tuned, to be honest with you. Is that right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Whatever. Yeah, it's awful. It's really horrible. But that's fine, because it means we can have a look and see how it's put together. So let's just jump straight in. I believe this is a reproduction. What have they done here? It's a reproduction stylophone because it actually says it on the back that it's made by Recreation, manufactured under license. There you go, you might just see it. Trust me, it's there. It's not very interesting. Probably on Firebox or one of those sites, it'll be there. 3 cheapy batteries. Not for retail sale. Yeah. No one would want to buy them. I'm going to put them on my bench. Let's crack on. Oh, it's like they've put the screws in with a bloody robot. So what's inside? I'm guessing it's probably based on the old sort of analog electronics, you know, just oscillators and whatnot. Intriguing. Intriguing. So it's a PCB, but it doesn't appear to be screwed down, which is kind of strange. Kind of half decent looking speaker though. It's quite nice. Blob of glue. Is that acting? That blob of glue there might just, which was there, probably stops that switch rattling around. I thought it was just, no, probably holding the edge of the PCB down. Going to work it out from the top. There we go. Look at that. It's all coming out nicely. Oh. So I don't know what's in an original Stylophone, but this is obviously under all one big blob really, and just a sort of greasy looking keypad where it's been heavily thumbed. So it's basically shorting out there. We can see ground, so you just zoom in for you. Can actually see some writing on this PCB for a change. Speaker plus, speaker minus. Interestingly, they're just soldering this wherever they happen to want to go. Ground and VDD there. And that's the pad. And looking here, there's actually a Q on. There's a transistor here and a resistor there. And that's because this would have originally had be acting as an amplifier. There'd been an amplifier transistor there, and that would have been boosting it up for the speaker, but clearly they just didn't think it worthwhile, or they've put something in this package. Maybe they had a bigger Stylophone. But the packaging is good for us because it does allow us to pop the batteries in while the case is off, so we can actually experiment with this, and we can see if we can do a little bit of bending, audio bending, by playing with some of these things while we got this PCB exposed. I'm just going to try to pop this switch out because it's kind of annoying me, this shortness of this wire. Come on. There we go. So my original thoughts for this were that I was going to try to MIDI-fy it, but I think I can try doing that. I can try doing that. But I'm probably going to try to shoehorn a different thing in here. So I'll probably just get rid of the PCB altogether, just keep this part of it, just replace everything else. I've got a really quite nice amplifier IC I use. So technically we should be able to make a sound if we can find a ground point, of which there's one that's quite far away. Just take a bit of solder, shall we? Make our own stylus for now. This piece of solder. Come on. Ah, right. Helps if you turn it on, of course. So what do we learn from this? Not much, other than it just plays one note at a time. But it will sustain the note, so if we do actually solder something on there and short it out, it'll stay playing that note. That gives us a chance to probe other things. In fact, I'm just going to turn on the soldering iron. I'm going to desolder some of these things. Mainly that stylus, because it's quite irritatingly short. It doesn't let us really play with this. So while the soldering iron is warming up, just having a quick look, we might be able to do something with this capacitor, might affect the timing of this. There's a resistor here. I'm just wondering, there doesn't seem to be any pad on here or allowance for any tuning parts, unless that that capacitor is the only tuning we can get out of it. Look at this, it's just like a whole bundle of annoyance. Get out of it. So we'll just put the ground back on for the battery. It's a really horrible wire too. I've never seen such thin wire. It's like single strand. Should really go on the internet and have a look at the original Stylophone, see what was inside one of those. But I do recall it was by our wasn't it a Rolf Harris thing, Stylophone, and I think that's gone out of favour for obvious reasons. So we're down to the bare bones here. Now if I can get a piece of wire such as this one, we'll strip that off. Strip off the other end. Make our own heavy duty industrial stylus here. There does seem to be an additional ground test point here, so we can just solder to that. How convenient. It's like they put it for us. Oh. Struggling here slightly because of the temperature in this office. It's so cold. There you go. Much quieter now without the enclosure. I do like actually that there are test points here along each of these keys. It does almost lend itself to automation. I mean, I'm really quite keen on that, looking at it, because you're actually just grounding these out, pulling them to 0. So how many do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. So 20 output lines. You could automate this digitally, but I'm not sure why you would. It's pretty crap as a synth. It just doesn't play more than one note at a time. So let's do something with that cap, shall we? Sorry, cap. So if I'm doing that, I'm basically shorting the capacitor to VDD, so that's not good. It's not going to do anything good there. Oh, hang on. So these two legs here seem to be just attenuating the sound, but I don't know if they're really tuning it. I suspect they're not, they're just messing with it. Yeah, it's not very interesting. Just randomly short stuff out on the board. Yeah. Boring, isn't it? Yep. There's really not much you can do with this bad boy. Made to a budget, nothing much there. So the only thing I could advise, if you really were keen, get a microcontroller board and tack them onto each one of these pins, and you could have your own, say, MIDI stylophone. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. As ever, thanks for watching.